Fight fans, talking about Carl Prusa MMA. Today, my guest getting ready, fighting Fury FC 122 in New Orleans. He is the undefeated Mr. Jason Asher. It's all smoke, ladies and gentlemen. He's taking on Kyle Todrank. Jason, what's up, my friend? How are you?
Oh, man, I'm good. First, first fighting for Fury as a pro, so I'm excited, man. Big show in my own hometown. So, we getting ready right. Fight week, it's Monday, so count down the days, brother. The gym's excited, the city's excited, and I'm excited too. So we're gonna bring it.
You're a really exciting addition to this show here. You're 4-0, 100% finish rate. 3 of these 4 fights could be stoppages in the first round. You've shown on the regional scene in Louisiana, man, you like to go for the finish. You like to go to the kill. How much pride do you take in your fighting style?
Oh man, a lot. I'm naturally, I would say, a very aggressive person, and I think it plays out in my fighting. And luckily, my gym, we rein it in, so where I'm not just out there wilding out. But yeah, man, I like to finish people. I like to finish them quick, but it's at the end of the day, I can be very technical. All my finishes, my knockouts have been all technique based, not just out there throwing down. But I can go there if I need to. So, yeah, I take a lot of pride in that.
Over the years, there's been tons of guys come out of Louisiana that have do big things in the UFC. Obviously, Dustin the Diamond Poirier, Brandon Allen. You have Daniel Cormier, Kurt Halabaugh, Matt Schnell, Macy Chiasson, Hunter Smith trying to get there now. What is it with that state in fighting?
Oh, man. I was actually just saw Macy Chiasson today. She was at our gym. She's back in town for a few days, maybe a week. Yeah, man. Louisiana has a great fighting spirit, and I'm so excited to be the next crop of guys coming up. You mentioned somebody like Hunter Smith. I've seen Hunter around. He's a really good guy, humble guy. He's about to hit the Contender Series right now, and then come out of my gym is what I'm very excited for. As far as the history of the gym, I know Macy started with us at a time, and now she moved on to Fortis, but she still bounces back and forth. We got a guy like Carlos Vera, who's from New Orleans, moved out to Virginia for a little while, and he's back home now training with us full time at our gym. So, we got a good UFC caliber guys. And then, one of our coaches, Ton Lee, is we never made it to UFC, but you're talking Ultimate Fighter, you're talking Dana White's Contender Series, and then ultimately he went to one championship and won the ONE FC belt, featherweight belt. So, I mean, I'm a featherweight. It don't get much better than having a featherweight champ to coach me. So, a whole crop of killers coming up, and I think just the team and the energy this week is so high to show this city. This is the biggest regional promotion card in Louisiana I think there's ever been. And we're going to put on a show, and it's going to be sold out, and that's for sure.
There's so many people watching the sport in this day and age, and I feel like a lot of people, they look at the Joneses, the McGregors, the DCs, and they see the fame, the fortune, the glory, the girls. When you're battling out on the regional scene, man, you're not making Conor McGregor money. You're staying up late. You're waking up early. It's hard to have a relationship. It's hard to have kids. You're putting all of your eggs in this basket to try to get to the next level. For you, what's made you want to do this journey and sacrifice every day?
Oh, man. It just shows how much you know about this game is, the small things. The regional scene, it's hard coming up. You got to work. I work full-time job, full-time training. I put myself in a situation where I'm less than most fighters, where I'm not too much worried about money. I'm not rich, but I'm not worried about my bills every month. They're paid. But that is because I put in hard work through normal life to make my fighting life easier. But man, what makes it all worth it at the end of the day is being able to do this as my only job full time and have a life outside of it. Because it's hard, it's so hard. You put in 40 hours training, you put in 40 hours of work. There's not much time left over, and I will always prioritize my sleep and nutrition. But that being said, I have a girlfriend. She's been taking real good care of me this camp. If I'm a lightweight. Normally, I've always fought at lightweight, even fought at welterweight a couple times. So I'm a big guy, big frame, and went down to featherweight for this fight. So I maybe had one cheat meal in the past 7-8 weeks, and girls been cooking, I've been cooking, and we're lean, we're shredded, we're gonna be on weight.
For you, do you feel that fighting is more mental than is physical?
Yeah, I think so. I would say that it is a mental sport. Because just going to the gym, training 3 times a day, that it takes a physical toll, but at the end of the day, you just got to just show up, and then you got to, people don't just understand, it's not just showing up, it's being focused and dialed in when you're there. Otherwise, you're not really going to come away with as much as you could. You have to be dialed in every session. You have to listen to, every strain of technique, and apply it. It's not just about being there. You can be there as much as you want. You might only pick up 20% of it, but if you apply it every day, if you think about it, if you let it consume you, then that's how you become great. And I'm trying to be on that path to greatness.
It's kind of crazy. You've only been a pro for about 13 months now, and you're on the verge of being 5-0. Do you enjoy staying this active?
Yeah, I think after this fight, I've kind of set it in my head that we might take not an off season. I still train year round, and I train the same way I always train. But as far as you don't want to blow past like a skill gap where you're missing out on skills because you're in constant fight camps. As you know, I'm sure, like, you only get so good in fight camps because you're worried about your opponent, your game plan around your opponent. So I'm gonna take a couple months after this fight and build some more skill. But that being said, I've been very active over the past year. I've been very active over the past 7 months. This is my 4th fight in 7 months. And I do like being active. My amateur career was a little spread out due to injuries and opponents pulling out. That's everybody's amateur career. And 5-6 years in this game, it was time. And I've been ripping off on the pro scene, coming out injury free. So it was on to the next one on every single fight.
So if you're heading to New Orleans, Louisiana this weekend, your gym, 7 guys from the gym fighting on the card. Is that pretty cool to have all these teammates fighting with you?
This is sick. It's not unusual for me. It's unusual to have 7, but I'm normally having 2 to 4 teammates on each card that I fought on. 7 is just insane. I mean, we're gonna bring the building down. It's going to be packed. It's going to be sold out, and the energy there is gonna be incredible. I'm so excited. Fury puts on a hell of a show. I fought for them once as an amateur, and they've only grown times 10 since then. So 7 teammates. The energy this fight camp was everybody holding each other accountable, and the energy was I want to say violent, but it was aggressive. Everybody knows what we're hunting for. We all want to win. We all have tough opponents. So we were beating the shit out of each other this camp, and it's gonna show. It's gonna show because if I'm doing rounds with Sean King, Merrick Nicholas, Maverick Becker, Dylan Oliver, like, these are just killers that are coming up in our gym, and if I can hit rounds with them, I can take on rounds with anybody in Fury.
You just mentioned Sean King. Obviously, he's got a big opportunity here this weekend. He gets to his first big main event contest against a guy in Dimitri Ivey with a lot of experience. As teammates with him, is it pretty cool to see the opportunity that he has here?
Oh man, he has been killing it. He's he's definitely inspired us. I've trained alongside him since I started. He was just a kid when I started, but how quickly he's ripped off his pro career and with success has been incredible to watch. He's really just showed up on Fury's radar and blew through the scene. And we already know what's going to happen if he goes out there and does what he's going to do. He's going to get that contract, or he's going to get that shot on Dana White's Contender Series. That kid can bring a crowd. I call him a kid. He ain't a kid no more. He's a grown man now, and he's out there knocking out grown men. But yeah, he's definitely one of the reasons why Fury is in NOLA to begin with. He can sell out a stadium by himself if he wanted to. So yeah, he's definitely leading the charge, and we're following close behind him, and it's going to be a clean sweep leading right up to him.
So you're getting ready to take out Kyle Todrank. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent?
Oh, I'm very high on him. He's a very good opponent. To me, clearly the best guy I've ever fought. So we've broken down his film. I broke down his film, and we see his holes, we see his strengths, and we're gonna go in there and expose him. That being said, he's very good, so it won't be easy. But yeah, I'm so excited to put my skills on display. I think it's pretty obvious I haven't fought anybody like him so far as a pro, and I'm excited to show my skill set. This won't be a 20-second knockout again like I have, but it will be a masterclass, and I know that for sure.
That's a really interesting fight because both you guys like finishes. He's shown that he's got some hands, but he's also shown the grappling and how good the wrestling is. Do you think this could be the most technical type of fight you've going to have in your career so far?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's going to be the most technical fight I've had. With his wrestling credentials, he wrestled at Purdue, he wrestled at Buffalo, so he's got some D1 credentials. And since that being said, he's also an MMA fighter now. He's not just a one-trick pony. He will go out there and knock guys out and get finishes. He's not one of these lay and pray wrestlers, and he is there to entertain. And I know I am as well. I'm no way in hell that I'm selling all these tickets to have my people show up and I'm gonna have a boring fight. I can't have a boring fight. It's not in my body. There's no bone in my body that's gonna be boring. So that being said, I know we're just going to go there. We're going to bang it out. And if it has to be a tactical chess match on the ground, then that's what it'll be too. My gym and my team has prepared me since starting with them for anything. All we know is we're not getting wrestle fucked. That will never happen. So no man will hold me down for 15 minutes. I know that for a fact.
I asked this question to your teammate Sean. With a big win here for you, you'll be 5-0. If it's a big finish, be your 5th finish in a row. There's a show starting in August on Tuesday nights. It's called the Dana White Contender Series. I know we talked about maybe taking a couple months off. With a big win, do you think maybe, possibly, there could be a phone call?
I think it's always a chance, especially with somebody like Sean breaking down that door. For me, I think I haven't, being just objectively, I haven't proven it as a pro yet. 3 out of my 4 wins weren't very good opponents. Not that that's my fault. They're all short notice opponents that my original opponent pulled out. One of my 4 opponents so far was good, but I feel like I still need to prove it. I'm not blind in that, just having a good record doesn't mean that you're good. So I think a win over somebody like Kyle will be big, but I'm not thinking anything after this fight, really. If they call, of course, I'll make the weight. I'll do whatever I need to do. The whole point is to make it to the big show. So if the big show calls, we're gonna go take that opportunity. But yeah, as far as thinking I'm gonna get a call after this fight, I don't know. Maybe not. If I go put on a spectacular performance, maybe I do. But the plan is just keep on trucking along and head down, grinding, and getting more finishes, because that's what will have them calling up.
How do you think you have grown and evolved as a person from being in martial arts?
Oh man, that is a very good question. I think most fighters have the same story. We're all a little messed up in the head to be doing this, a little crazy, a little aggressive. It's definitely helped me channel my aggression. And the biggest thing is that it's given me confidence to be able to do whatever I want in this life and have the confidence to do whatever I want in this life, because I know how much time I pour into martial arts. And if I just poured 50-60% of that energy into any normal job, I will be successful at it. I'll be a 1%er at it. So that being said, I don't want to just have any other normal job. I want to knock people out for a living.
There's so many fans that watch this now, and now we've coined a term called the casual fan. And I think every fan is a good fan, but sometimes you'll be at B-dubs, you'll be in the crowd, you hear twist them and the you-know-what. Everyone thinks they're a fighting expert. What do you make of some of these comments from the fans?
Oh, I mean, look, fans are going to be fans. You love when they support you, and then you hate them when they hate you. They're going to flip back and forth. That's why I try to just stay in my own lane, and the only people's opinions that I care about are truly my teammates and my coaches. I couldn't care about anybody else's opinion, because if they don't truly know the sport, then they don't, their opinion, why would their opinion matter? So you have good journalists like yourself that follow the sport closely and can spot good technique. So those are the opinions I'll listen to, not just the casual guy that goes to B-dubs and puts a fight on every now and again.
I think for the most part, the casuals are starting to understand what you guys are trying to do on the regional scene. They know you're trying to win fights, get in the UFC, get bigger fights with belts, all that. Very few people, in my opinion, understand the fight outside of the fight. And to me, that's that fight not to clock in at 9 o'clock in the morning, clock in at 5. That's that fight to secure financial freedom. That's that fight not to live by societal norms. Create some sort of journey, create some sort of goal, and live it to the fullest. For you, has this been a big part of the reason you do this?
Yeah, I think financial freedom is always at the top of the list. I always, when I started out with this sport, I just said, "Oh man, I want to do it. I just want to be able to do this as my full-time job." And look, we know there's not a ton of money in the sport until you make it to the very top, but that's changing. And I do thank the casual fans for that. The more eyes in the sport, the more money it's going to flood it. You see all these different promotions popping up now. PFL has been around for a while, but the Netflix MVP stuff's popping up. More money's coming into the sport. More competition is always good. It's always good for us fighters. The goal is financial freedom. The goal is to make it to the top and have a nice house, good car. But that's not really what I care about, brother. I like competing. I like fighting, and I love training. That's my number one thing.
For you, what's the ultimate goal? What are you looking to accomplish in this sport?
I want to win a belt, brother. I think everybody says that. Everybody sets out to, but now everybody puts the work in. And I know I put the work in. Been putting work in since I was 19. So, and that's even a later start than a lot of young guys now coming up. But that's why I got to work even harder. Every day I'm training. Every session I think about, young killers that are coming up and trying to take, that goal that I know is going to be mine one day. And, that's getting way ahead of myself because I haven't improved myself in the regional scene yet. But that's always the ultimate goal. And we set, a million smaller goals to get there. It's just one step at a time.
For you, who are some of those guys that you really enjoyed watching when you were younger? Maybe guys you looked up to, emulated your style off of?
Oh, man. I actually talked to somebody about the other day. Carlos Prates, a big fan of him. I know he's a little bit newer on the scene now, but I took a lot of things from his game and applied it to my own, being a lanky striker. So many guys. Everybody at the Fight Nerds camp, those guys are special. Alexander Volkanovski is somebody who, to me, isn't the most talented, but the highest fight IQ and the best at sticking to game plans. The way he's been at the top of his game for as long as he's been is truly incredible because I don't think you could point to any one thing and be like, oh, Volk's the best at this, except for, in my opinion, fight IQ. And I think that's, above everything else. Those are just a couple guys who, I think I'm a very big fan of.
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy. For me, I started watching from the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, and that was like over 20 years ago now. At that time, people were literally calling martial arts human cockfighting. It wasn't legal in every single state. No one thought it would be to what it is today. At the time, you'd see guys rolling the UFC 28, 29, a lot of them training out of garages. They had these gyms, but they weren't nearly the high levels they are today. Now, fast forward 20 years, 2026, there's tons of gyms like what you guys have in New Orleans. You have 7 guys. There's established regional pipeline shows that get you to the next level. Is it crazy for you now to be in that next wave of fighters?
Oh man, it's so cool. I love it because when the sport started out, it was human cockfight is what people would say, but there wasn't, in my opinion, a ton of technique to it, and each martial art was split into its own thing. You were this specialist, you were this guy, you were just a wrestler or just a kickboxer or just a jiu-jitsu guy. And now it's evolved into a sport where you're an MMA fighter and you blend them all together and it's its own thing, which is just it's so cool to see. And you don't have to be the best striker, you don't have to be the best grappler, you have to be the best mixed martial artist, and that's the guy who's going to win. Also, the aspect of it being a sport and the tactics that come with that. It's not just about going out there and biting down your mouthpiece and swinging. It's strategic, outpointing, footwork, all this stuff, knowing the rules. And all that being said, another thing I love about the sport as well is that you could have all those things, and then you can also just bite down your mouthpiece and go swing. You might go knock this guy out. So it's the ultimate wow sport where anything can happen at any moment. I mean, you talk about the Leon Edwards head kick. He's losing he won round one, losing the rest of the fight, completely getting dominated, and then pulls it out at the very end. So there's countless times when then stuff like that can happen. So it's the wildest sport out there for sure.
Absolutely. All right, Jason, last question for you, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome?
This Friday against Kyle, I'm looking for a second round knockout. That is my goal. I only say second round because I want to be able to show my skills off against somebody at his level for a whole round. And I want to show how good I am to everybody, to all the Fury fans, to all the new people watching me. And then, of course, baby, we got to get that finish.
Absolutely. Well, Jason, man, thank you so much. Fight week. Thank you for making time out of your schedule to talk with me. I wish you nothing but the best, brother.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's it for us today. I'm Carl Peruzzi. He's Mr. Jason Asher. You can watch him Friday, Fury FC 122. Take that Kyle Todrank. Take care, fight fans. Don't blink. It's going to be a fun one.